यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनतीरावनचारि यमुनतीरावनचारि जय राधाविहारी जय राधा कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य बीबीडी फाउंडर आचार्य सेवियर ऑफ द होल वर्ल्ड शिल प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमती शिल भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर शिल प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की मथुरापुरी धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की श्री गंगा मैया की यमुना मैया की भक्ति देवी की श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री गौरांगी बेंगलोरेश्वर की श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्र मैया की श्री श्री गौर निताय की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gaurang. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namani. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarani. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4th, Chapter 8, chapter entitled Dhruva Maharaj Leaves Home. I was told to speak on 17th as it doesn't have purport, so we will go to 18th, which also doesn't have purport, and then 19th. I'll just recite. 17th. दीर्घं शशन्ति वृजनस्य पारम् अपश्यति बालकमाहबाल मामङ्गलं तात परेषु मंस्था भुङ्क्ते जनो यत् परदुःखदस्तत. She also was breathing very heavily and she did not know the factual remedy for the painful situation. Not finding any remedy, she said to her son, "My dear son, don't wish for anything inauspicious for others. Anyone who inflicts pains upon others suffers himself from that pain." Text 18th. Satyam surucha vihitam bhavan me yaddurbhagaya udare gruhitah stannena vruddhascha vilajjate yam bharyeti va vodhum hidaspatirmam. Suniti said, "My dear boy, whatever has been spoken by Suruchi is so. Because the king, your father, does not consider me his wife or even his maidservant. He feels ashamed to accept me. Therefore, it is a fact that you have taken birth from the womb of an unfortunate woman, and by being fed from her breast, you have grown up." Text 19. Please repeat after me. Atishtatat vimatsarastvam उक्तं समात्रापि यदव्यक्लिकम् आराधयाधोक्षजपादपद्मम् यदिच्छसे अध्यासनमुत्तमो यथा आतिष्ठतत्तात विमत्सरस्त्वम् उक्तं समात्रापि यद् अव्यक्लिकम् आराधयाधोक्षजपादपद्मम् यदिच्छसे अध्यासनमुत्तमो यथा आतिष्ठतत्तात विमत्सरत्वम् उक्तं समात्रापि यदवक्लिकम् आराधयाध्योक्षजत्पादपद्मम् यदिच्छसे अध्यासनमुत्तमो यथा माताजी Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace. Abhay Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Atishtha, just execute. Tat, that. Tata, my dear son. Vimatsaraha, without being envious. Tvam, unto you. Uktam, said. Samatra api, by your stepmother. Yat, whatever. Avyalikam, they are all factual. Aradhaya, just begin worshipping. Adhokshaja, the transcendence. Padapadmam, lotus feet. Yadi, if. Ichhase, desire. Adhyasanam, to be seated along with. Uttamaha, your stepmother, your stepbrother. Yatha, as much as. Translation. My dear boy, whatever has been spoken by Suruchi, your stepmother, although very harsh to hear, is factual. Therefore, if you desire at all to sit on the same throne as your stepbrother, Uttama, then give up your envious attitude and immediately try to execute the instructions of your stepmother. Without further delay, you must engage yourself in worshipping the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. The harsh words used by Suruchi to her stepson were true because unless one is favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one cannot achieve any success in life. Man proposes, God disposes. Suniti, the mother of Dhruva Maharaj, agreed with her co-wife's advice that Dhruva engage himself in the worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Indirectly, the words of Suruchi were a benediction for Dhruva Maharaj, for because of the influence of his stepmother's words, he became a great devotee. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamaiham Tatati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guraho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome to our morning Srimad Bhagavatam class, in which Dhruva Maharaj pastime has begun from around text 6 of this chapter, in which Maitreya Muni is telling to Vidurji that I will describe now before you the descendants of Swayambhu Manu, who was born of a part of a plenary expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Swayambhu Manu, son of Brahma, had 2 sons and 3 daughters, Uttanpad, Priyavrat, Akuti, Prasuti, Devahuti. From Uttanpad, because Priyavrat left for forest under Narad Muni's guidance to perform penance, then Uttanpad was made the king, who had 2 wives, Suniti and Suruchi. From Suniti he got Dhruva, who was a small boy of 5 years, and Suruchi. From Suruchi he got Uttama. So once he tells the story how when Uttama was sitting on the lap of his father on the throne, seeing this Dhruva also was inspired, because it is a nature of the children that whatever their brother sister get, they also desire that. So he also tried to climb on the lap of his father. Other lap was free, but immediately from backside behind, his mother, stepmother Suruchi, became very angry and said, Dhruva, you cannot sit there, you are not qualified, because you are not born of my womb. So some words of Suruchi: my dear child, you are unaware that you were born not of my womb but of another woman. Therefore you should know that your attempt is doomed to failure. You are trying to fulfill a desire which is impossible to fulfill. If you at all desire to rise to the throne of the king, then you have to undergo severe austerities. First of all, you must satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayan, and then when you are favored by him because of such worship, you shall have to take your next birth from my womb. Now if you see here, Suruchi is afflicted by envy. So envy means keeping oneself in center, and in one sense rebellion against Lord, or one doesn't want to worship the Lord. But here very surprisingly, Mother Suruchi, who is envious of Dhruva, in order him to elevate himself, she is telling one nice thing, that you can elevate yourself to the position of being the son of Uttanapad. In a sense he is already son, but you are not qualified to sit there because you are not born from my womb. So you can elevate yourself to that position by severe austerities, and how? By satisfying first the Supreme Personality of God. So how amazing this is. The words spoken out of envy have complete focus on Vishnu. Worship of Vishnu, satisfaction of Vishnu. What remains in life then? Nothing else remains. So that's what, when Dhruva got disturbed by this, he became very angry, his eyes became red hot and hair got disheveled, and stamping his feet on the ground, he left that place, went to his mother Suniti. So now when he comes to Suniti, she is giving him some advice. That's what we are discussing in this 19th one. All that what we read already, 17th, 18th and 19th also. That, my dear boy, whatever has been spoken by Suruchi, your stepmother, although very harsh to hear, is factual. Therefore, if you desire at all to sit on the same throne as your stepbrother Uttam, then give up your envious attitude and immediately try to execute the instructions of your stepmother. Without further delay, you must engage yourself in worshipping the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of God. So because he has associated with the envy of Mother Suruchi, he is also afflicted by envy. So he is afflicted by envy. So she is very clear, in clear terms she is telling, therefore if you desire at all to sit on the same throne as your stepbrother Uttam, then give up your envious attitude. So we need some guide like that, who will bring us to sanity. Even if, and in this world it is bound to happen, every one of us will be attacked by envy of others. Certainly we also attack others with our envy. This is the world of all envious people. It's an ocean of envious people. So just like a pack of dogs Prabhupada says, packed up in a room, what will they do? They'll only be barking, biting, and snarling, that's all. Nothing else they can do. Because all that. So material world is also like that. So we will be victims of others' envy. So how not to get affected is very wonderfully guided by Mother Suniti to Dhruva. So we need such guide. So we'll discuss about that topic only. How to have the accept the best from the lot, from whatever is available. So Prabhupada says in the book The Matchless Gift, he quotes from Niti Darpan, maybe the chapter 1 and 16th verse. Vishadapi amrutam grahyam amedhyat api kanchanam nichadapi uttamam vidyam striratnam dushkuladapi. 4 examples are being given by Chanakya Pandit. So he says, Chanakya Pandit says that, this is from Matchless Gift book of Prabhupada, says that one must catch what is right from any source. If there is a glass of poison with some nectar in it, he says one should take out the nectar and leave the poison. So elsewhere, in another place, maybe in his lecture, Prabhupada says, like some lot of poison is there, but somewhere there is some nectar there. Maybe on that glass is filled with poison. Maybe on the brink, on the top surface, there is some nectar there. So one can just lick upon that nectar or take it out and drink, and not put his finger in the poison at all. And that nectar can be taken, because the glass is not a problem. The poison inside the glass is the problem. But at the top, what is it? Brim. So on that, the nectar is there. Nectar is very good only. So take it. So he's saying Vishadapi amrutam grahyam. So though majority of it is vish only, poison only, but Amrit is there. Amrit is nectarian. It is very nice. It will have longevity, strength, vigor, intelligence. So take that. Next he says, Amedhyat api kanchanam. Even in the worst of the place like stool, if there is a little bit of, just say 1 tola of gold. What is the current rate of 1 tola? 57,000. 57,000. So stool, 100 kg stool is there. In that 1 tola gold is there, in any form, ring, nose ring, or just a lump of gold. Now everything is yellow only there. Stool is also yellow and gold is also yellow. But gold is gold. It will shine because of the sunlight. Stool will not shine. Stool will dry up. So one can take that gold. Certainly one got contaminated. Go and take bath. And maybe stool is also dirty. That gold is also dirty. So give bath to the gold also. Maybe both can take bath simultaneously. With gold in my hand, I can rub and take shower on me. And both are purified, and go in the market, sell it off and get 57,000. Put it in the bank or do whatever required. So one can get a lot. So amedhyadapi kanchanam nichadapi uttamam vidyam. So Prabhupada's words also I'll read. If there is glass of poison with some nectar in it, he says one should take out the nectar and leave the poison. In the same way, if one finds gold in a filthy place, he should take it. Similarly, although according to the Vedic system of education, one must be given instruction by intellectual persons like Brahmins, if someone lower on the social scale has learned the truth, one should accept him as a teacher and learn from him. One should not think that just because one is lowly born, he should not be accepted as a teacher. So in the world today, you can see how Prabhupada's teachings are very powerful. Lot of racial discrimination, or based on who is born, high scale, high family, low family, all that. So Prabhupada's words, if we present to all those who are, so to say, lowly born, they will be inspired. This Acharya is so amazing. He is saying even if somebody is born in a low class family, but he has good knowledge, he is teacher or whatever, one can learn from him. Nowadays there is a lot of quota there, a lot of fights are going on. I was in Aurangabad. I was going for 2 days after Balram Jayanti. So they had burnt 4 buses there, and I had to go there. In fact, they had curfew described on. They had announced on Monday. So Sunday night only, midnight only, I had to leave. 12 o'clock I reached Nagar because I had a flight to go on next day. So much fight for Marathas. They want some reservations like that. And similarly, some other place also in Pune and other places maybe. Maratha, maybe Thane. There also the fights are going on. They want their rights. Now we are special. Similarly, so many others, which especially born in low families, they want their rights. They want their quota. SC, ST, OBC. A lot of quotas are there. And why? Because they feel very bad. Similarly, women also, because they were looked down. They feel, and then they are appealed in government, and the government has given lot of rights to women. Sometimes more than men also. They are everywhere now. So even if somebody is low born, such a person can also be accepted as teacher. Nichadapi uttamam vidyam. He has uttam vidya, so why not accept from him? Because vidya is vidya only. It doesn't get contaminated by person, so it can be accepted. And Stri Ratnam Dushkulad api. That even in the low family, if some girl born is of good qualities, then one can accept her as one's wife. Generally, the marriage is done in the same status, slightly little different there, but same caste and all that. But even if she is born in low family, but she personally has, she is endowed with many nice qualities, then one could accept her as one's wife. So this verse quoted by Chanakya Pandit, also recited by Srila Prabhupada, shows that how our attitude should be. All that depends on the attitude only, our progress. So if you are always looking for good, then we will be quite benefited. There are 6 types of visions, once I had heard from Gaurang Prabhu long before. So he says that seeing good and seeing only bad, one can see whenever one interacts with new people, or even old people in a sense, those people whom we have been regularly associating with. So we can stamp every person, oh, this is very bad person. All of us, we have our social circle, and a friend circle, devotee circle, whatever it is circle. So we stamp people. This person, bad fellow. In the material life, it is bad fellow. Bad. So only whenever you see him, whenever some discussion ensues with somebody else about him, and whenever you think of him on all 3 levels, you only immediately think he's a bad person. Like he is like this, no? Like India's map is there, like that person's figure is there like that. So only you can see B-A-D, bad person, bad fellow, like that. So one should not be like that. But that is one vision. Another vision is seeing good and bad and only focusing on bad. First doesn't get to see any good only. This fellow has no good thing. He is only bad. So that's too bad a vision, but still that is first vision. Second is seeing good and bad and only focusing on bad. Third is seeing good and bad, focusing on bad and amplifying it, making it very huge and portray to others he is the worst person. He is a bad person, but you portray to others like he is the worst person. Like Daksha did. Lord Shiva anyway is not bad person. He is not only good, he is the best person. Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. But some things which are glorious, which are bhushan for Lord Shiva, he was describing them as dushan, as contamination. So Lord Shiva associates with bhutas, pretas and all. But according to him, it's very low class people he associates. All his associates are low class. But that is his mercy. He is Bhutanath, Charachar Guru. So many glories are there, Acharyas have told. But Daksha only saw some other thing which are not bad at all. But he saw them as bad and he amplified like anything. So that is the third vision. Fourth vision is seeing good, seeing only good, like that. And then seeing good and bad and seeing good and amplifying that. One thing we missed out. Seeing good and bad and focusing on good. So that is next one. So seeing good and bad and focusing only on good. Then fifth one is seeing good and bad and focusing on good and amplifying it. And the sixth one is seeing only good. So these are the 6 visions we need to develop the best one. seeing the good. Prabhupada saw only good things in the hippies. That these are seekers. They want to know. They were, as far as externals were concerned, they were into all varieties of bad things according to social norms, meat eating, gambling, intoxication, and all that. But then they had sincerity. They were looking for something higher, which Indians thought that they knew everything. And the highest is not spirituality, highest is Western culture, and we are heading towards that. And this culture is okay, what Indian culture is there, but that's not so glorious. To the extent that the Prime Minister of the India only said when he saw Srirangam temple, that if only such a huge area was converted into industrial belt, industrial field, then India would have prospered to great heights. That means temple should be demolished, Srirangam temple, such a huge area is occupied on that, destroy all that temple and have a lot of industry there and flourish, economic development. So such kind of foolish concept Indians were developing and they are aspiring, cherishing. So they were not good, but Westerners, they were so much seeking. So Prabhupada saw that, amplified that, and inspired them to go ahead. So we see this vision in many places. Many of the great souls in their lives, they have accepted in their life that the best part, just like Bilomangal Thakur and prostitute Chintamani also. He was so much mad after her that on the day of his father's death also, he was forcing the person who performs last rites, do it quickly. And that person was wondering why so fast he is saying. What is so important for him to be done? Though so many important things are there in everyone's life, when some death occurs of one's own mother or father, one puts aside all those things and gives importance to that attending, being in the ceremony, attending it and doing the whatever the rites to be done. But this person was so eager. So ultimately he goes to meet her, crossing all the overflooding river, and she was on the first floor also. He climbed with the help of one dead snake and entered in her room, completely scratches all over body, weight, all that very precarious condition. Seeing him in that condition, and he has come to meet me. Chintamani, very naturally, she was a devotee of the Lord. Her shlokas are also given how she glorifies the Lord. So she was struck with wonder, how can somebody be so mad after flesh? So she said, oh Bilomangal, if only you had same attachment for Krishna, by now you would have become a pure devotee. Immediately Bilomangal Thakur, he says, my spiritual master Somgiri, he only spoke through her. And he took that part, then he went ahead to surrender to Krishna and he became pure devotee of the Lord. So one can be in the worst of the situation, get the best. The situation doesn't matter, the orientation of our consciousness, our heart matters in every situation. If you see Prabhupada's life, what kind of hardships he went through, what kind of people he was surrounded by, and what kind of accusations they were offering to him, how much opposition they offered to him. But Prabhupada's orientation was so amazing. His consciousness was fixed on fulfilling the desire of spiritual master and bringing or making Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prediction come true. It will come true, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prediction. Everywhere holy name of the Lord will spread. So I will become successful despite all the odds against me. Similarly, Duryodhana and Vidur's case, when Vidurji told Dhritarashtra, because he was counselor of Dhritarashtra, such a best counselor, and what are the worst counseling? No matter millions of counseling sessions were taken, not even one lesson could penetrate the head or heart of Dhritarashtra. But Vidurji did it till the last point. But then when he told that you should not go for this kind of war, this will be destruction, this will be fratricidal war in which all the brothers, they will kill each other, whole family will be destroyed. So don't go for it, Dhritarashtra he was guiding. But Duryodhana became very angry because all that he had planned was almost reaching perfection, and now that time only Vidurji is telling, stop this war by all means, Dhritarashtra and all that. So then he became very angry, and in front of his father, Dhritarashtra only, Duryodhana very heavily insulted Vidur. He said, who is he? He is a son of a kept maid servant. He should be left, he should be driven away from here only with his breath. So take out everything, all his clothes, his ornaments, his house, strip him of everything and just let him go with the breath only. And despite that also some problem, then we'll take away his breath also. He wanted to kill only Vidurji almost. But when Vidurji was so heavily insulted right in public by some young boy, nephew, Dhritarashtra should have rebelled, he should have shouted, chastised, corrected Duryodhan, slapped him, kicked him, killed him also. That advice was given at the birth of Duryodhan only. When he was born outside the maternity ward, everybody was waiting. And what sound came? Braying of a donkey. Sorry, what happened? How donkey entered in the maternity ward? Huh? How the nurses and others are not careful. And Nahi Maharaj, not donkey has entered. The donkey has come out from the womb of Mother Gandhari. What? Yeah, it's your son. He will destroy the whole dynasty. Immediately Bhishma told him, Vidur told him, kill him. Kill this child or throw him in the forest. But Dhritarashtra said, no. How can it be? My son. Isn't it my son? So then that was not done. So now Vidurji was heavily insulted. So Vidurji saw it as the arrangement of internal potency of the Lord. Very nicely our acharyas have told that in this sin, the external potency was acting on Duryodhan, but internal potency was acting on Vidurji. Was acting means he accepted in that way. That way both potencies are all the time acting on everyone. What one accepts, that's the thing. So Duryodhan was accepting only the waves, the vibrations from external potency. So he only heavily insulted Vidurji. Whereas Vidurji saw this is nice arrangement of the Lord only. Otherwise how could I get free from all these royal duties? There is no end to all this. This is the time, best time, let me just leave for forest and holy places and let me take darshan. So he went all around India, all the holy places, and that's where he came across Maitreya also. And that's how almost third canto as well as fourth canto, majority of it is dedicated to Vidur Maitreya Samvad only. So much. So we can see the glory of, Vidurji is shining in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, fourth canto, almost every. So many questions, several questions, and he is pure devotee, he is not some ordinary person, he is Yamraj, one of the 12 Mahajans. But he wanted complete spiritual life. There he was Yamraj, doing all kind of beating, killing people, not killing, but smashing them. So he came as Vidurji, then also he was stuck only. So he wanted complete pure Krishna consciousness. So he came, and such pure that in the purest of the pure Puranas, Srimad Bhagavatam, Amal Puran, he is shining like anything in all pages of third and fourth canto almost. So that's what will happen if we accept the best. For that we need guidance. We should not see the situation with envy. Certainly when people act out of the envy, we may associate with their envy if our consciousness is low. It depends on where do we stand. Just like normal example of this infection only, any kind of infection. I think nowadays dengue and some other infection is going on in India, quite rampant. Earlier COVID was too much worldwide, but now dengue or some other things are there. So if the immunity is low, then one is very much susceptible to that. But if immunity is very high in one's body, then even if one is passing through that infectious area, one is undisturbed. He doesn't even know that this is infectious area, because he is having very high immunity. Similarly, our consciousness, our attitude should be very good. Then the situations don't matter, our consciousness matters. They have some slogan also on the t-shirts, I think. The matter does not matter, the spirit does. You have seen? There are t-shirts. I think ISKCON t-shirts only. Outside people, they don't have any concept of spirit. They don't know much. Matter does not matter. That means the situation around is all material situation only, mainly. And people becoming envious of us is the too much of material situation. So matter does not matter, the spirit does. What is your spirit? Are you on spiritual plane? If you are on spiritual plane, the material things you don't accept. You accept the spirit in it. You see Krishna in it. Like Vidurji saw Krishna arranging Duryodhan to insult me, then only I will be removed forcibly from this royal situation. So many duties are there here, and I will go out and take holy association. So if envy we fall prey to, of others envy, we associate with that, then it's very bad. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur tells that story in Upadesh Upakyani, that one man worshipped Lord and Lord became pleased and said, yes, what is your desire? So whatever I ask of you time and time again, you please fulfill that desire. And God said, yes, I will fulfill whatever you want, and whatever you get asked for, your neighbor will get double of it, twice. So this fellow was too much envious of his neighbor. That is many times the case. Every person is envious of everybody else, but neighbor is quite lot interaction. So lot of envy is there between neighbors. You must be knowing in the world so many things. In fact, neighboring countries also, neighboring states also, Maharashtra and Karnataka or Belgaum. Belgaum हमारा है नहीं, Belgaum हमारा है. Karnataka Maharashtra. So God knows where it is, what it is, like that. Even rivers also, I think. Which one? Kaveri. Kaveri. Some rivers are flowing through few states or two states. So sometimes these Amara, why are you taking water for irrigation? It should be given for our state. So neighbors, now Punjab has nothing to do with Kaveri or Jammu Kashmir, because they cannot in the wildest of the dreams think of getting Kaveri water through tankers, etc. But these two states which have that river. So neighbors always, everybody is envious of everybody else. It's not that Jammu Kashmir people are not envious of Maharashtra and Karnataka people. But the envy gets exhibited in the people who are around us. Interactions. In interactions, envy is exhibited. Where there is no interaction, there is no question of envy. Means the envy is not exhibited. Envy is always there with everyone for everybody else. So that person, he said okay, because he was focused on his blessing that he wanted. And then he asked, let me have one-story building. So he got one-story building, but when he came out of the house, then he saw his neighbor having two-story building. Then he said, let me have a nice garden behind my house. So there was a nice garden arranged by the Lord. Then when he went out and saw, his neighbor had two gardens, one at the back side and one in the front side. Then like that, everything he asked, the neighbor was getting double of it. Then he thought deeply, what to ask? Then he said, okay, oh Lord, let me make blind by one eye. So his one eye, he became blind. So then he came out and he saw his neighbor. Neighbor was blinded by both the eyes. He was doing like this. That's it. This is perfection. Now at what cost he is making the neighbor blind? By losing his one eye. Now whole life he also, vision gets obstructed, isn't it? Like anyway our vision, human vision is like this. Fishes, they have vision in all. Cows, if they walk on the street, you'll see, they know the vehicle is coming from backside also. They are very careful. Fishes also have 360-degree vision or something like that. But human vision is not 360-degree. I cannot see what's happening backside unless I turn my neck that side. So our vision is anyway less in one sense, but okay, for human workings, it's good enough. But that fellow made himself blind by one eye just because of his envy. Or that another example of knife and scissor. Two scientists had discussion that knife is the best thing for cutting instrument, because cutting thing. Other said no, scissor is the best thing. It makes it smoother, like that. So then he said no, knife, then scissor, knife, scissor. So ultimately the fellow knife scientist, he lifted up the scissor fellow and threw him in the pond of water, a water pond something, in which that person did not know how to swim. He started drowning. He almost, his head went down, but then he took out his hands. He could not say because the head is inside the water. And then when hand went down, he died. But till last moment, you are saying scissor is the best thing for cutting anything, not the knife. So person convinced against his will remains of the same opinion still. So people don't give up their opinions because it is envy. It is not scriptural opinion. Scriptural opinion is very broad-minded, like we are seeing here. How to accept the best also, even in the worst situation, even in the place where so much of envy is exhibited, you can achieve Krishna from that situation. As Prabhupada has very nicely put also in the 19th last sentence. Where is it starting? Maharaj agreed for Indirectly, the words of Suruchi were a benediction for Dhruva Maharaj, for because of the influence of his stepmother's words, he became a great devotee. Had Suruchi not insulted Dhruva so heavily, Dhruva would have become pure devotee because he is in Swayambhu Manu's dynasty, but after a long time, not at the age of 5.5 years. That would not have happened. So everything, Suruchi's envious words, Suruchi's presence acted like catalyst and increased the speed of spiritual progress. Catalyst is the substance which increases the speed of a chemical reaction. So our is spiritual progress. So in that, some catalysts are very good. That's why it is said the greatness of a person has to be estimated by his ability to tolerate provoking situation. Provoking people are the best people in our life. Because we make a lot of progress. Those who pull our legs, क्या प्रभु ये आपसे नहीं होगा, नहीं होगा, फिर then we exert ourselves like that. If everybody glorifies you, then I am the great soul, then you cool down. You see, that's what happens generally. Many devotees told me, Prabhu, when we are glorified by other devotees, it becomes very difficult, because we feel so nice, false ego is nicely massaged and all that. So our spiritual vigor goes down. But when somebody provokes us, it's very good. Instead of just focusing on he is provoking me, just see what is he saying and focus on that and flourish. So that's how it works. So Prabhupada says one Bengali proverb, Shakuni shape goru marana. Shakuni means vulture. Vultures enjoy dead animal carcasses, especially the carcass of the cow. Sometimes a vulture may go for days without a carcass. Therefore, the vulture curses the cow, because many days have passed, this fellow is not getting any carcass. Carcass means the dead animal's body, like that. So he can feast on that body, but now carcass is not available only. So he's going hungry. What he does? He curses the cow, wishing him to die. But this does not mean that the cow will die, just to oblige the vulture. In Marathi also that saying is there, कावळ्याच्या शापाने गायी मरत नसतं. In maybe every language it will be there. This is not some spiritual thing. It is there it is having background of spirituality only. That even if others inflict their envy upon me, we won't get anything bad. Unless Krishna imposes, that is coming in the next verse purport. Unless Krishna sanctions a particular thing, it won't happen. So no matter who says what in our life, there is no reason for getting discouraged. His Grace Brahmanand Prabhu says about Prabhupada, Prabhupada was man of no discouragement. If you read the first whole volume of Lilamrit, first volume, it is so discouraging. If you just think from the beginning, almost when Prabhupada made his spiritual master, then on you think you are Prabhupada, means with Prabhupada. Just let's say you are with Prabhupada, you will be so much discouraged. Arey kya ye aadmi ko, what all he has to go through? His wife is selling his Bhagavad Gita manuscripts, purchasing biscuits, drinking tea, and all people, Jhansi, they are against him. Even the politician, K.M. Munshi, that means his wife. In the name, she had assistants, Surya Vamshi and Chandra Vamshi, something like that. Surya Mukhi or Chandra Mukhi, that wife of K.M. Munshi. But what? Chandra Mukhi. She became Jwalamukhi only in Prabhupada's preaching endeavors. Destroyed the whole attempts there. He had some 50 young boys who were becoming sincere. One of the initiates, Prabhakar Acharya, he had to give up Jhansi. Complete flop. He got Gaurang Mahaprabhu to be installed in Jhansi. The first deity of ISKCON was Gauranga Mahaprabhu in one sense. If you say Prabhupada is the founder Acharya. But then because such things happened, ultimately under the guidance of His Holiness Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, Prabhupada could not install Gaurang Mahaprabhu. He gave to his god brother only. And he installed in his Gaudiya Math, Keshavji Gaudiya Math in Mathura. Now also that Gaurang Mahaprabhu is there. That Gaurang Mahaprabhu was brought in Jhansi by Prabhupada only. If you want to see, first deity of ISKCON in one sense, that is brought personally by Prabhupada. No, Mathura. Keshavji Gaudiya Math. In Mathura you can go. You ask there, it's very famous. I had been there once. So it all depends on our attitude, what we have. Similarly, Ramchandra Puri and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there also Ramchandra Puri was so much envious. First he offended his spiritual master, Srila Madhavendra Puri. by telling him, why are you thinking of Lord Mathuranath Krishna? Just meditate on impersonal Brahman, that is superior to Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. So impersonal Brahman is supreme. Meditate on that, you will reach perfection. Madhavendra Puri became very angry, said, get lost from here. Then he went to Puri and then he started seeing faults in so many devotees of Mahaprabhu, ultimately with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. He said, this sannyasi eats so much, such palatable dishes. Is sannyas life for such kind of opulent living or it's for simple living? The Mahaprabhu was stunned. What to do? Then once he visited Mahaprabhu's dwelling, his place, Gambhira. There he found some ants going in line. And immediately said, oh, that means this sannyasi has eaten some sweetmeats here. So, Mahaprabhu, you might have seen that photo. Mahaprabhu is wondering, like this. Mahaprabhu's photo is there in CC devotees have drawn. He's wondering, what to do? What is he saying? Like that. So anyway, Mahaprabhu reduced his diet to almost 1/4 also for the sake of satisfying. He did not see any fault in Madhavendra Puri, in this Ramchandra Puri. Many devotees said, why should you listen to Ramchandra Puri? Forget him. Prabhupada said, no, he is my well-wisher only. Not Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said he is my well-wisher only. That he is saying correct only. A sannyasi should not eat so much. So, no problem. The devotees were all worrying. And ultimately when Ramchandra Puri went, devotees were very happy. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's attitude can be seen, how he took the whole thing. Many times we get so much disturbed if our equals or younger devotees say something against us. Here some superior only, a sannyasi only saying so much and in public only. How would you be able to take it up? If your senior only in public only says that you eat so much atyahari and you are prajalpa oriented, this, that, it will be too discouraging because of our low Krishna consciousness. If we are very Krishna conscious, highly Krishna conscious, then it won't happen. Then we take it up very wonderfully. So I want to end with one offering of His Holiness Shivram Swami Maharaj. How many of you read that book, Srila Prabhupada Vyasa Puja offering book of 2023, this year's? You have read full? Anyway, I want to read this Shivram Swami Maharaj offering. Little long, but hopefully we will finish in 4 or 5 minutes. So you will be amazed to see. I read today morning only, after I went after chanting. One devotee said you can read this offering. So then I thought better we speak it out here also, read it out. It is very helpful. So hear attentively. Dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to your divine grace and all glories to your divine appearance day. Some 30 years ago, I wrote a Vyasa Puja offering about a granny in Hungary who by the influence of your moment became a devotee. This was 30 years back, maybe 1991 around. How she became a devotee. That story highlighted the transformation you have brought about in the lives of countless people who may live in even the most far-flung parts of the world. Many devotees contacted me about that old lady, and even today I am occasionally asked about her and how she is. She became a devotee through book distribution and all that. She has moved on, but her history is not a one-off. It is one of many. She left, but this is one example. Since that time, I have seen your movement continue to transform the young and the old. And while every person's story is unique, they all have one thing in common. You are their savior. Srila Prabhupada is the savior for all. This year, I would like to narrate another example of how Krishna consciousness is saving people day by day and how every story of salvation increases your already endless glories. Prabhupada already has endless glories. But all these stories, as we come to know, they increase his already endless glories. I will tell the history of Janani Devi Dasi. However, I emphasize that her final words are the essence of my narration, the essence of her life, the essence of the marvel of your influence. So whole story we will read now, but towards the end, what final words she says, you focus on that also. Whole story can be attentive. Sometime back in 1991, our book distributors entered a modest ice cream shop in a very remote part of Hungary. The shop owner, Irene, was in her 30s, a mother of 3 girls. Shop owner is ice cream shop owner is Irene, 30 years old, mother of 3 girls, and her husband was a simple Christian who worked in the hospitality sector. Irene purchased whatever Bhagavatams we had in print, and thereafter, year after year, she purchased every new book that came out, reading them very carefully. In this way, Irene became a devotee. By reading Prabhupada books only, she became a devotee. She chanted 16 rounds a day, was a vegetarian, made her little girls vegetarians, and raised them as devotees by telling them stories from Krishna book. 16 rounds personally, and training girls, daughters also, in very nice way in Krishna consciousness. After some years, the book distributors no longer visited, but Irene continued on with her Krishna conscious life, even though she never saw devotees or visited a temple. Meanwhile, all was not well at home. Irene's husband was against Krishna consciousness and the changes it was bringing into his house. Naturally, she will do many things. No? She will not cook non-veg and she will chant Hare Krishna. So all these changes were not acceptable to husband. He tried to burn Irene's Gita and forbade her practices, but Irene would not stop her Krishna consciousness, nor would she stop teaching it to her children. Needless to say, the differences between the parents became a source of ongoing tension in the household. Yet Irene remained her serene, sweet, soft-spoken self. A lone devotee in her home, in her greater family, and in her village, she never faltered, but continued year after year, decade after decade, following what she read in your books, Maharaj offering. Her girls grew up, finished their education, and married, having children of their own. The middle daughter was named B, and she was an economist who worked at a bank as a financial advisor. As Krishna would have it, being a devotee, she used to visit the temple, and in conversing with some ladies, she became inspired to work for the Budapest temple, organizing festival programs. We all knew that B was a devotee, but it took some time before we came to know that almost all her family were devotees, including her mother. When I heard the story of her elderly Krishna conscious mother, I asked if Irene could come to the temple. How was someone chanting 16 rounds and following the principles for 30 years not initiated? Devotees become so desperate. Initiation, why spiritual master? All blaming spiritual master. Why he is so whatever. So 30 years she chanting 16 rounds, not initiation. Maharaj is only curious. See how Krishna arranges. I first met Irene in 2017 and we talked at length. She was such a sweet person, such a sweet devotee. We agreed that in time she would formalize her relationship with Krishna through initiation. So they decided, not final thing, but she should take initiation. In the spring of 2019, Irene was taken to hospital for what was meant to be a minor colon operation, only to be told that she had stage 4 cancer spread throughout her body. Stage 4. The doctors were amazed that she did not complain of any pain. Stage 4, you understand? So very difficult, but no complaint. The doctors were amazed and they gave her only a few months to live. Irene took the news gracefully, peacefully. Indeed, so much so that the doctor sent her to a psychologist. But there was nothing wrong with Irene. They thought this woman is gone crazy or what? So much final stage, and how she is not in expressing pain. But there was nothing wrong with Irene. She understood the temporary nature of the body and she didn't complain about her fate. She had full faith that everything was as it was supposed to be. Events moved quickly and predictably. With great difficulty, Irene came to see me in August and we again spoke of initiation, which then took place the next month during the Radhashtami festival. Irene received the name Janani Devi Dasi. She was a real mother. Janani means mother. She was a real mother. Janani's illness swiftly took its toll and she was no longer able to travel the distance from her home to the temple or to the Krishna valley. Then came COVID. A period of 2 years I spent almost exclusively in Krishna valley. It wasn't a time to travel. And from that time, March 2021, Janani's condition deteriorated rapidly. In May, I began to call Janani regularly to help prepare her for the final lesson, her departure from this world. I would speak to her or read to her while her girls took turns nursing her. B was with her 24 by 7, and in that time she witnessed Janani's non-stop intense Krishna consciousness, during which she was either listening to Your Divine Grace, that means Prabhupada's lectures, or hearing Chaitanya Charitamrita. Almost up until her passing, Janani always chanted 16 rounds and read your books. Then the evening before her passing, I called and read Narottam Das Thakur's prayer from Pratana, song 57. Maharaj read out, quote, "My dear Lord, please hear me. The day that I give up my body, absorbed in thoughts of you, please give me shelter at your lotus feet." Unquote. I encouraged her to pray to Krishna so that she may always think of him, that he kindly take her back to Godhead to be either a Gopa or Gopi. All night your bhajan played as Janani slept, and in the morning B asked her if she remembered the prayer we had spoken about, that prayer of Narottam Das Thakur. She nodded in affirmation. B and her sister Rita bathed and dressed Janani, and at 9:46 am, while the two girls were chanting beside her, Janani Devi Dasi left this world. It was the 9th of June 2021. As I said at the beginning, this story is an introduction to its conclusion, which is a summary of Janani's words, as related by B at the ashes immersion ceremony in Krishna Valley. Janani had said, now Janani's quote, quote, "From the first day that I began to read Srila Prabhupada's books, I accepted everything that he said as truth and followed everything that he instructed. Throughout my life, I never doubted Srila Prabhupada for a moment." Just see. Throughout my life, I never doubted Srila Prabhupada for a moment, for I knew that in him and in his teachings, I had found what I was searching for all my life. I do not lament my imminent death, for I know everything is as it should be, and Krishna will always be with me. Hare Krishna. Unquote. So this is her. Before her departure, she had said this. Srila Prabhupada, I was and continue to be amazed at how this meek housewife had such unflinching faith in your teachings, and how, just by reading your books, she attained such an elevated state of devotion without any devotee association. So see, initiation after 30 years, chanting 16 of for so long, hardly any devotee association, hardly any temple visit. So I do not know how many, okay, where is it? Devotees. I do not know how many other people in remote parts of the world, unknown to nearby temples or devotees, have been transformed in the same way. It is the wonder of your books and of your teachings. However, I do know that you continue to live and guide sincere souls who, like Janani, are looking for the truth and want to live by it. Thank you for being so wonderful. Oh yes, one final thing. At the conclusion of the ashes ceremony, after having been with his wife all through her illness, after hearing her words of devotion, and after hearing the remembrances of the ceremony, at the ceremony, Janani's husband approached Shivaram Swami Maharaj, with tears in his eyes and extended his hand. As we shook hands, he said in a choked voice, thank you for all that you did for Janani. Srila Prabhupada, I didn't do anything. We just distributed your books. And another thing, ironically, Rita, the other daughter, also married a husband who was against Krishna consciousness and her devotional practices. While Janani could still speak, the last instruction that she gave Rita was that she should make her whole family Krishna conscious. She is in the 4th stage of cancer, but when she is little bit able to speak, she told Rita, make your whole family. She knows her son-in-law, that means Rita's husband, is against Krishna conscious practices, but she is telling, make whole family Krishna conscious. And she did. Rita did. Her husband has been chanting 16 rounds for the past year. Rivo! Just see. And we didn't do anything other than distribute your books. Your servant, Shivaram Swami. So amazing. So you can see what this Mataji, Janani Mataji went through. So much opposition for wife, husband matters a lot, everything in one sense. But despite all that, she went on so nicely and without any complaint that I am not getting initiated. No, what do you call, demands, no demands, and never doubted Prabhupada. Took everything that he said in his books to be truth, and that's what she was searching for all throughout her life. And she also instructed and guided her daughters, 3 daughters, into becoming wonderful devotees. And we can see Krishna satisfied her. Krishna gave her initiation through Shivaram Swami, and in the last days Maharaj is there personally to guiding, and the daughters are chanting Hare Krishna. She left in a very glorious way with absolutely no complaint. So anybody who has such disposition, who has no complaints about anything happening around, such a person only can withdraw from this material. Like I tell sometimes leaders, our youth center leaders are there. Prabhu, in our voice, boys don't listen. And I said, Prabhu, you'll have to take one more birth. Because you are very firm about how the material world things should happen. You will be taking one more birth minimum, if not more. At least one birth you'll have to take, like that. Because you are quite into making material world better according to your thing. Recently only I spoke. So then after that devotee came and said, sorry Prabhu, I think I myself should become proper leader. I'm misguided. I said, yeah, sometimes in the name of being guides, we become misguides to all our followers. So we should not be misguiding others. So she has absolutely nothing to say. Prabhupada, you can see, Kichu Ichha nahi. Such a worldwide society, 108 temples, thousands of disciples, lakhs of books being distributed, so much fund coming in, so much service going on, and at the end he says, Kichu Ichha nahi. No desire. Krishna is calling me. Krishna only arranged everything. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, and Rupa Goswami's supervision, this whole Krishna consciousness society is flourishing, is going on. I was just an instrument of Krishna's desire, and I did my service, and now it's time, Krishna is calling me. Left. But many of us, we are so, no, I am very important. Without me, how will my center go on, temple go on, my family, my house and all that. Kailas, very typical example. No. I'm very young, this, that. And after children also, no, children are small. Then grandchildren are small. Grandchildren are not looking after field and all that. I only am needed. So such a person has to be reborn. But one who says nothing, this material world, I know what it is for. Now I have to go. So such a person only can go back home, back to Godhead. Otherwise, anybody who has some opinion about how material world should be, he has to come back. Even for that matter, like even in ISKCON also, if you say, no, ISKCON should be run like this, then you come back again. Next time you can be the president of some ISKCON temple or this temple only, or whatever temple you feel should be. Then you come back. That doesn't mean that we should not. We should be part of the healing herb. We should not be cancerous cell. So we should set best example. Preaching through action is better than words or so much other thing. So we should become wonderful devotees. Here we can see how Dhruva, he was fortunate to have Suniti Devi as his mother, who guided her perfectly. And here also you can see how Janani Devi very nicely took it up. Okay, any question? You had something to say? She did not. She was not so much in touch with devotees. Devotees were also, they stopped visiting that shop eventually. Only after was that B was connected to Budapest temple. Then not immediately. Later on they came to know her whole family of B is devotee, and Irene particularly. Then Maharaj called her in 2017. So devotees were not there so much around. In one sense, you can see Prabhupada's life also. 1922 he met Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and then he left immediately, 23 only, to Prayagraj. And in Prayagraj there were not so many, there were no devotees, no temple. And eventually then all of them came, and then Prabhupada got initiated. And Prabhupada also 2022 to 33, he did not so much like that. Even to the extent that in his shop, this OBL Kapoor was coming and he was taking medicines, and he got initiated in 1932. 1932. He is young boy, introduced to Krishna consciousness, Gaudiya Math, after Prabhupada. Prabhupada was introduced way back in 22. He was introduced later on, and he is young boy, younger to Prabhupada in age. He got initiated before. So every time he would come to Prabhupada's shop, Prabhupada would immediately bow down to him. You are senior devotee because you are initiated. I am not initiated. You can see how much Prabhupada is humble. Though OBL Kapoor would pay back obeisances, he would know, he knew for sure that he is not an ordinary person. His glories will be revealed later on. The initiation is important, but we should not be in a materialistic way so much harassing our superiors, counselor, and temple president and guru. Give me initiation, give me initiation. And after initiation, what? हो गया initiation. अभी मैं मंदिर नहीं जाता क्योंकि क्या है ना, सेकंड दीक्षा लेने की तो इच्छा है नहीं, एंड संन्यास वगैरह तो मिलेगा नहीं ना, तो छोड़ दो, हो गया अभी. आई विल गो रेगुलरली टू इस्कॉन टेम्पल ऑन जन्माष्टमी एवरी ईयर. ठंडे पड़ जाते लोग, पीपल कूल डाउन. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू सीइंग दैट बिफोर इनिशिएशन लॉट ऑफ विगर इज देयर, आफ्टर इनिशिएशन द इंटेंसिटी इज नॉट सो हाई. यू नॉट सी ना. ठीक है, just wait for some more years. Huh? Many are not initiated. Okay. So if they raise hand, their initiation may be further delayed. So they will not raise hands. But we have seen so many people so enthusiastically coming, but after initiation, as the time passes by, there are still few who want Brahman Diksha, so they come for dressing Prabhupada and some things which are supposed to be done for getting second Diksha. So they will be showing interest. And after that is done, then we have to see again. Temple authorities will keep calling, Prabhu, aa jao, Brahmanish Diksha hua hai, seva karo. But whether they will come or not, all that. So one should have steady, because what happens, one can get first Diksha, one can get second Diksha. But one may not be able to come out of passion and ignorance so easily. Anartha nivrutti will not necessarily happen just because you took Diksha and you got Tulsi beads and you are chanting Hare Krishna. No, for that internal surrender is required. Truly focused on Guru's instruction and taking it as one's life and soul and just Ekeha Kuru Nandana. Such a person will undergo Anartha Nivrutti stage and he will come to Nishtha, to the mode of goodness, and he will practice systematically and he will go further also. But many others are, Sadhu Sangha is reduced, that's the problem. After initiation means Bhajan Kriya officially initiated in one sense, officially started. But then devotees stop Sadhu Sangha, reduce Sadhu Sangha. Then what? Anartha Nivrutti one will not go through. In fact, further anartha pravrutti can happen. Anarthas will increase. Devotees fighting for post position, becoming envious of authorities. Why? And trying to pull him down. I will be that top man. So much goes on. Gaudiya Math was a very gross exhibition of such anartha pravrutti. Not after Bhaktivinoda Thakur departed. During his physical presence on planet only, these things had started. So many problems in Gaudiya Math. So much so, Bhaktivinoda Thakur made a comment. He said, I am leaving this world early because I am surrounded by all neophyte disciples. He left his body at the age of 62 or so, quite young in one sense. So I am leaving this world, fed up with such kind of neophyte disciples. So that's why Prabhupada was very careful to form GBC way back, quite early in ISKCON. And though most of the devotees did not know how to be proper devotee, but Prabhupada founded it and he sat through the GBC sessions, meetings, and he made sure they learn slowly, because otherwise ISKCON would be again into pieces after Prabhupada's departure. So ISKCON is one or maybe the only organization which after the departure of founder Acharya has not only sustained but has prospered also and is ever expanding like anything. This is because Prabhupada did not allow the Kali to come enter in ISKCON through all these kind of actions. Yes. Hare Krishna.
You were explaining about Vidura, how when Duryodhana was insulting, took that as the internal energy of the Lord. So as sadhakas, it's very important for our ourselves also, whenever we are put into difficulty, to stay into that understanding, okay, the Lord wants this to happen. But over a period of time, this kind of things happen, keep happening more and more and more. It can burst out. Than considering it as the internal energy of the Lord, it can be stock of external energy which gets bursted out. So how do we start?
That means one is not in touch with a sadhu or sadhus. We are surrounded by many devotees, but we are not in touch with any devotee. We are not receiving the vibrations. We are not taking that waves that are coming from pure devotees. We are just reading Prabhupada books for sadhana. Marks हो गए 1 घंटा पढ़ना हो गया over. Either doing it that way or not doing it only. So if that is the case, like you see this Mataji, Janani Mataji, how she was reading Prabhupada books daily and hardly any association of devotees, but and what faith she had in Prabhupada, absolutely no doubting about Prabhupada and every. So Sadhu Sangh was very powerful. That's why bhajan went on despite husband opposing and cancer and so many problems. But because Sadhu Sangh is there, bhajan kriya is very strong. And anarthas, if at all there had been any, they were all evaporated. And she is so peaceful, blissful. Even the doctors developed anartha of thinking that she is gone crazy. How is she not expressing her pain? Maybe something psyche is gone wrong. But then they found no. She is perfectly peaceful. She had undergone peace. The anartha nivritti is gone. Nishtha stage. Yes, she has gone higher and higher levels. Sure enough, she has gone back to Godhead also. So sadhu is required. Just like Prabhupada says, no, the mosquito is sitting on my lap or on the lap of a king does not mean that it is taking association. It is creating nuisance for the king. Similarly, we may be surrounded by many devotees, we may not be associating. So one has to associate. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastri Hoy, Lavamatra Sadhu Sange, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Even moments association is so beneficial. What to speak of if we hear. I hear my, not to say that my spiritual master is the spiritual master, but I hear His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj lectures. So simple story, same thing we know in one sense, but the way he puts it, it's so impressing, so deep. It penetrates all the layers on the heart and that goes deep inside the heart and shakes the soul from all the slumber and laziness, etc. And brings awakening to the reality, to the real self, to real spiritual life. So spiritual master's words are very potent, but one has to hear them daily and with faith. One should know he's just like Prabhupada says in one place, how a dying man would look at the photo of Krishna, picture of the Lord. Like that one should hear also the lectures of the spiritual master. Who hears? Many people say, don't know time, I am doing this, I am doing that. Then how would we flourish in Krishna consciousness? Yes, any other?
Complaints. So how was the right attitude? Because when a person is facing difficulty,
Complaining.
you think that one should not complain and one will take
His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj says complaining is the pastime of the idle mind. कुछ है नहीं करने को, nothing to do. So keep complaining. I'll give him services of 25 hours per day. Let him foam at the mouth. Then let us see how he complains. So, nothing to do. Then he complaining.
And sometimes you get services, when services are dealing, you have to deal with so many people, and then all complaints will come.
About them.
About them, like, to engage people, if people are humble enough to do whatever you can engage them. But most of the time they just want management to control others. And when they control others, so they're not here, and a lot of complaints will come. So you engage them problem, you don't engage them problem. How to deal with this?
We have to engage them. We have to call him personally and tell him, Prabhu, we appreciate your desire to be in management and all that. But tell me examples of devotees who were put on management level without rendering menial services and all that. Like His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Swami Maharaj, I heard in the young days when they would join Mayapur temple, they had to clean all the areas of the temple. And they also, His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj personally has done this, I think, the toilet sewage is there, na? So that, what they call? Safety tank, na? septic tank. So opening that and clearing all that stool, liquid stool, throwing it away and all that. That he has done like that. Recently had one pastime that His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj told, I think in Juhu temple, to Devakinanda Prabhu was the commander of the temple. So he told Devakinanda Prabhu, this boy is there, you give him his joining temple or whatever. So you train him the way you give training to the new boys, new bhaktas. So then he said, yes, Maharaj. So then after some days, Maharaj asked Devakinanda Prabhu. So Devakinanda Prabhu, what happened? What about that boy? He said, Maharaj, I gave him the services. I checked the new bhaktas very vigorously. I make them clean the entire campus of Juhu temple, toilet, bathroom, everything. So I engaged him. Within a week or two, he ran away, Maharaj. So His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj said, oh, he went away. He was my son. And Devakinanda Prabhu was shocked. What? He was your son? You never told that earlier. Gopal Krishna Maharaj never told that he's my son. Give some special attention and care and all that. So Maharaj said, no, whatever it is, he's going to join as a brahmachari. So like, no partiality, nothing like that. So he did not tell. After he left and all that, then Maharaj told, oh, okay, he was my son. Devakinanda Prabhu was shocked. So we can call that devotee and say, tell him that one has to go through all that hardships to be able to show that you are wanting to be servant of the servant by doing all menial humble services. Then when you are put on management you huge high position, it will not enter in your head. It will not become headweight and drown you in the ocean of material existence. But it will take you up. You will be able to use all the resources and manpower, everything that is with you as a leader, and you will be able to serve Krishna much and better, in a much better way. So till then you do these other services. When you qualify, you will be made into management, leader, whatever. You got it, no? Are you satisfied? So he can be told, just like yesterday only, I think, because I also take care of young new bhaktas in Pune. So the devotees under me, they told me that another temple, just like Bangalore, 7 devotees had come to Pune. Not them, this is latest, they came 1 month back. So then he said that, Prabhu, one of the other temple devotees, he criticizes like anything about Pune temple. He's saying here everybody is running after post position, and he is talking about Pune temple like that. He is staying in Pune temple. He is from other temple, but he is staying like that. So what to do? Could you talk to him? That devotee told me. I said, no, you call him. I am going for Bangalore now. So you to call him and tell him what all complaints you have. Listen to him. Some things he says may be true also. Something. And that we can take as a way to improve our temple and all that. But otherwise, most of the things he may be saying, maybe because of whatever wrong association. So you tell him this is not the case. So you should not speak like this. You should not contaminate devotee society like this. So are you okay? Will you stop criticizing all this? If he doesn't agree, then we'll call his counselor, his temple authority from his temple on Zoom. Then I told that Sudamana Prabhu that you, that devotee and his counselor and Antardvi Prabhu, 3-4 of you have Zoom meeting and discuss it out what to do. Whether he will act as a humble Vaishnava or not, else he will be sent to his temple. He cannot continue being in Pune temple. So we'll have to first we'll give opportunity for him to improve. But if he doesn't listen only, then he has to. So everybody has to be told properly. We are not here to be just as taskmasters and troubling others. That we want everyone to become better devotees and contribute so much to the ISKCON society. But in a proper humble way, as a servant of all the Vaishnavas, not in a bossing way and criticizing and all. That is not good. So he has to be told all this. In fact, the regular classes should be speaking just like we are speaking now here. How to take a particular worst situation and bring the best out of it. Or how to have the best attitude, consciousness. So these things should be heard by every individual. Not just in the beginning stage, all throughout one's life. Otherwise, they will associate with Maya's agents, with their own mind, uncontrolled mind. Then they will be creating nuisance for themselves and others. Today morning, one more devotee said something happened with him. His health went down. The authorities said this, that. So should I go to farm community for some time? 40 kilometers away from Pune ISKCON temple. I said, okay, if you feel that that would be better for you, you may go for some days. But before you go, read this 118-page offering of Shivaram Swami to Srila Prabhupada in Vyasa Puja offering, and see what all devotees go through in order to gain the mercy of Krishna. So I'm sure he will read it, might have read already. If he reads it, he'll feel, oh my God, this Janani Mataji went through what not. At least I am not undergoing such difficulty. So maybe I should not go to Vella. Maybe should continue. Or if at all he will go and cool down there, that's a cool place, farm. He'll come back. So we all get disturbed so much every now and then. This is all because we are not Krishna conscious enough. Something is there around. Krishna consciousness is around, but it has not sunken in the heart. We are all in Krishna consciousness, but Krishna consciousness is not entered in our heart. Just like as we said, the boat should be in the ship. The ship should be in the water, but water should not be in the ship. Isn't it? So likewise, means against it or contrary, we are in Krishna consciousness, but Krishna consciousness is not inside us. It has not been absorbed. One who has absorbed it, he will be undisturbed. Greatness of a person has to be estimated by his ability to tolerate provoking situation. So one can deal with situation peacefully. Prabhupada, I got 108 temples management, worldwide temples. One can go crazy. Just imagine, I have seen leaders taking care of 2-3 voices, 2-3-4 temples. They don't understand what's going on. Day is going on, night is going on, go crazy in one sense. And Prabhupada is running 108 temples all over the world, thousands of disciples. It's peaceful, undisturbed. Dhirastatrana muhyati. That is not just for seeing, going through boyhood, childhood. That is in all circumstances. One who is dhira, one who is in knowledge, he doesn't get disturbed. Disturbed is only because of passion and ignorance. He will be very much disturbed. Any other?
Question from chat. Being asked by Sindhuja Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
How
Krishna.
to overcome regretting past mistakes?
Regretting.
How to overcome regretting for the past mistakes?
Past is past. Why to worry? They say, what they call? Past is a history and future is a mystery. So be in the present. Past is what that I cannot do. Just like I did not get into IIT. Why should I worry about it? I am in ISKCON. Spiritual IIT. Heading directly not to London or New York. Heading to Golok Vrindavan only. Isn't it? I am now giving lectures to the professors in IIT. And professors in NIT Warangal. Here is NIT Warangal devotee, Venkatramana Prabhu. So when they were studying in voice, I would give lectures to professors of NIT Warangal every month. So when Diwali came, Kartik month, we had even that Deepdan also in few professors' house. IIT Delhi professors and so many others. So Krishna, if we surrender to Krishna, the best of everything will come. Why should you be a student, a slave in IIT? You will be the professor for the professors of IIT colleges. Not just one college, several colleges. Prabhupada, you see, is addressing so many big shots. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, what education? Not even a graduate, means according to material character. Addressing, I don't know who all, HDFC Bank and House of Commons and President of America, Ambani, so many. So that happened. Our similarly is Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj also. Okay, materially also Maharaj took education, but he gave it up all. But he is invited by President and directly. When President was coming to Pune temple inauguration, Maharaj called Pranab Mukherjee and said, why should you have your food when you are coming to our Pune temple, ISKCON temple? You are from Bengal, you know Prabhupada, you should take temple prasadam like that. So then he said, okay Maharaj. But then Maharaj, I am not allowed to eat anything like that. So tests will be done on the food. Maharaj said, no problem. We will do everything, that protocol will follow. No problem. So the food had to be prepared 1 hour before. It had to be ready. All Matajis were washed by the commandos. All people were watching what all Matajis are adding, spices, this, that. And then they are offering bhoga to the Lord. So this is 1 hour before ready, and then first prasad is the recipient is a dog. Dog ko khilaya usko. They fed to a dog, and all the military men are watching the dog, whether he's vomiting or he's fainting or he's dying. So 1 hour that dog was alive, he was peacefully going around. So then they gave to Mr. Pranav Mukherjee. My God. I was shocked when I heard it. I was not there. I heard from devotee because only 300 people were allowed in the campus and 500 gunmen were there. All around NVCC, on all buildings, military men. Only 200 or 300 commandos were there in Pune. So they got 200 or 300 from Delhi because he is going to visit temple. 200 of them came to temple for this reason. So anyway, we went too far. What was the original point? So past, we should not worry. In fact, to the degree we are in passion and ignorance, to that degree only. Those who are ignorant, ignorance attacks us, we will be too much brooding over past, oh that did not happen, good. And passionate fellows will be in the future. I want to go to America, I want to go to London, I want to do MS in US, I want to have job, green card, whatever. So the ignorant people go in past, passionate people go in future. And only in goodness people are in present tense. And those who are in pure goodness, they are in Golok Vrindavan. Samashritaye padapallavaplavam mahat padam punya yasho murare bhavambudirvatsa padam param padam 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 yat vipadam natesham. So he says param padam, those who are in pure goodness, their goal and their focus is fixed on that param padam. Padam means place. Param means topmost place, Golok Vrindavan. Their eyes of the mind and conscience are fixed on Golok Vrindavan. Body goes around in the world or whatever the things around. They keep rendering service, but their mind is set on Golok Vrindavan. So we need to be like that. What is that?
I think it's connection to what you explained, that how to overcome passion and ignorance, Guruji. Always our attempts fail to overcome it.
Yeah, your attempt will fail only because you are not Rishikesh. Krishna is Rishikesh. He is the master of senses and mind. We are only servants of Krishna. Currently, we are servants of mind and senses. So, if you try to, like, mind and senses are my masters and I try to control them, how would it be? How will the master allow me to control them? They will not allow. But if I surrender to Krishna, who is the master of the mind and senses, he will control them. Tumi Rishikesha Rushikadamiya. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Oh Lord, you are the Rishikesh, Lord of mind and senses. Rushikadamiya, please control my mind and senses. So offer your mind and senses in the service of Krishna. Krishna will control them. If you try to control your mind and senses, impossible. It's just not possible. You can't do it. And as far as overcoming passion and ignorance, that is told in Bhagavatam only, 1 to 18 and 19, that Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. The Abhadras will become almost zero, nil, if we serve Bhagavatam, Grantha Bhagavat. How many of you read every day 1 hour Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada's with purports? Ideally Bhagavatam should be read. Okay, take chalo, Prabhupada books. How many of you read Prabhupada books every day 1 hour minimum? So see, the strength of Bangalore can be checked here. In Marathi there is saying, Sitavarun Bhataji Pariksha. When Mataji's cook the rice in a pot, they don't have to take the whole rice and crush it to see whether the whole rice is cooked. One grain you have to pick up, press it and see the state. In the middle it is hard still. That means middle portion of all the rice particles is hard only. It requires little more boiling. So keep it further. So we can come to know, asking question to devotees, to know the entire state of whole of the congregation, entire strength of ISKCON temple. It's very less. So we have to go deeper. So I had asked this question to His Grace Sankarshdas Adhikari Prabhu, that because I had heard I underwent eyelids in 2013, 50 days in Tirupati and 40 days in Pune. So there Naveen Neerath Prabhu, when he was speaking, so he said it's a pathetic condition in ISKCON. Not even 10% of ISKCON devotees have read all the books of Srila Prabhupada. So when he made that statement, I was shocked. Oh really? 10%, less than 10% of ISKCON devotees have read Prabhupada books? His senior devotee. He has been distributing books worldwide, number one book distributor also for years. So, but that struck me hard. Anyway, when after some months, when his Grace Sankashdas Adhikari Prabhu is Grahastha and Guru in ISKCON, so I wrote with him. The question answer is mainly through writing. So I wrote on a sheet, Prabhu, is it true that that not even 10% of ISKCON devotees have not read all the books of Srila Prabhupada? So when he got the sheet and he read it, he said, yeah, maybe. Let us see. Okay, so all those who have read all the books of Srila Prabhupada, raise your hand. So I raised my hand and nobody else raised hand. And then he said, oh, only one person. And then he raised his hand. He said, I am also have read all the books. So only you and me, only two of us have read. And here you see how many devotees are sitting. 200 plus devotees are sitting here in Temple Hall that time. So he said, what? This 10% is also exaggeration. I think that not even 1% of ISKCON devotees have read all the books of Srila Prabhupada. Because we are testing here only. So then I was all the more shocked. My God. So then I inspired some more devotees that you should read. So now I think we have 3-4. Next time also he asked. So then we have 1 or 2 more hands going up. So it's good. So without reading Prabhupada books daily and without serving Vyakti Bhagavats, person Bhagavats, how will our abhadras go away? We are saying to Srimad Bhagavatam, you are wrong. My dear Srimad Bhagavatam, you are wrong. I don't have to read you. I don't have to serve great souls. I will overcome my ignorance and passion myself only. I am a great soul. I have overcome all the problems. I have passed, I have crossed IIT JEE, IIT Advanced and all the interviews. So we are, by our own actions, we are defying the principles, the statements of Srimad Bhagavatam. We have to submit to Srimad Bhagavatam. And we have to say, my dear Srimad Bhagavatam, you say that by reading you daily, in fact, 24 ghante, 24 hours, Nityam Bhagavata Seva, ideally. Prabhupada says by regular attendance in Srimad Bhagavatam classes. What kind of translation? Where is it written there? But this is true. Why Bhagavatam is arranged in Pune temples, in ISKCON temples all over the world? Because that statement, the one verse we take and we elaborate on it. And a lot of munching happen. And what is that elaboration? It is nothing but some other part of scriptures taken from here and there. Whosoever speaks, he takes from here, there. He will take from CC, he will take from CB. That is Bhagavatam only in one sense. So if we don't do that, how would we overcome? Because next sloka says, Tada rajastamo bhava kamalobha dayasyaye chetayete ranaviddham stitam sattve prasidhati. One will be situated in the mode of goodness and one will overcome passion and ignorance. Tada means then. When? That is in 18th, 1 to 18. Nashta prayeshu badreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishthiki. Only in Nishtha stage you have overcome passion and ignorance. Not in Anartha Nivritti stage, not in Bhajana Kriya stage, not in Sadhu Sangha stage, not in Shraddha stage. In all these stages, passion and ignorance is there. Anartha Nivritti, departure. Nivritti means departure. So retirement. So anarthas of passion and ignorance, when they are out from heart, then only it is called as Anartha Nivritti. As long as they are there, anarthas are there. Nishtha one cannot come to. Nishtha means goodness. Sitam sattve prasidhati. So those two verses are talking about how to overcome passion and ignorance and come to the mode of goodness and get situated in Nishtha. So most of the devotees, Anartha Nivritti is told also in scriptures, it will take several lifetimes to cross. Several lifetimes a devotee will be struggling with Anartha Nivritti stage only. He cannot go back home, back to Godhead. Not possible. Impossible. Bahu janma kari yadi shravana kirtan tabuta na paye Krishna pade prema dhan. Keep reading, hearing, chanting for millions of lifetimes. Bahu janma kari yadi. Still one will not develop attraction, attachment to Krishna's lotus feet. Unless he avoids offenses. So much offenses. I travel many places in India. So many devotees meet me. They know this fellow is not from our temple. He is not in management. So nice person to talk to. And they keep complaining only. Vice presidents complain about presidents. And that kind of thing. And so much. So unless we bring about a thorough revolution in our consciousness, we won't be able to overcome. For that we have to take shelter of Prabhupada through his books. It's a very sorry state of affairs. All over ISKCON. Most of it. Many people don't read Prabhupada books. So what can be done? People even say that I have read them, it's repetitive, I don't like them. I want to read Acharya's commentary. What will you understand Acharya's commentary? Acharya's commentaries are also to some extent to that according to that time place. Now Prabhupada has given this for next 10,000 years. So these are most important. After this one can go for Acharya's commentary. But many want to skip it. Circumventing Prabhupada, then difficult. Any other? Okay, so we'll end here. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, सुनीति देवी की जय, ध्रुव महाराज की जय, समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। Where is Bhakti Vinod Prabhu?
Tomorrow also morning at 8 o'clock we'll be having the association of Krishna.
He comes every time. Today he was not present. Health is okay? Huh? Oh, he will live for 100 years. Hari. With what point you like?
Especially like tolerating things, like we have to see what others have gone through. In that way we also can overcome
Yes.
this misgivings.
What our life becomes very much self-centered.
Yeah.